Hi Stampers, it's Christy with Stampin' Texas. Well, I have got this really elegant and pretty Christmas card I wanted to share with you today. We're going to be doing some heat embossing on the words Christmas cheer. That's done with the gold embossing powder. And then we're also going to do some dry embossing with an embossing folder and the Big Shot. So let me show you a few things that you're going to need to get started. But actually, before I get started on the card, I just wanted to share with you, if you're ever out of ideas and you need ideas for cards, one of the best places to look is in your catalog, whether it be the annual catalog or the holiday catalog. I just wanted to show you right down there, recognize that card? I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Puts all sorts of ideas right here in their own catalogs. And you can go through, some are more elaborate than others, but there have been like several cards in the holiday catalog that I've just copied right out of there, and I love it because they're quick and simple and fun. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is I'm going to get the Big Shot, and I'm going to show you how to do the dry embossing. When you purchase the Big Shot, you'll get your machine, and then you'll also get this multi-purpose platform. And there are some tabs here. Well, I'm going to open it up. We don't need those. Those just act like spacers or shims. And you also get a set of cutting pads. So you're going to need one cutting pad on the bottom. Now, I am using the filigree embossing folder. This is from the holiday catalog. And I'm also using a piece of very vanilla cardstock. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. And I simply just scored it to find the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich that in my embossing folder. So I'm going to take it and put it in like this. Now the nice thing too with these embossing folders is I can kind of line it up and look on all four edges and say, okay, that looks pretty good. I think that's right where I want it. So I'm going to lay that down on that cutting pad, put the other cutting pad on top, and run it through. So this is dry embossing, and any of the embossing folders that Stampin' Up! Has are just amazing. They do such great job. So there's our card. Isn't that cute already? Just embossing it gives it so much texture. Alright, so with that in place, now we're going to be able to line up our Christmas cheer image. And this stamp comes from the Cheerful Christmas stamp set, also from the holiday catalog. And you're going to need to emboss, to heat emboss, you're going to need a Versamark powder, an embossing buddy, and some gold embossing powder. Now just a tip, I keep all my embossing powders in their own container, so I'd never have to try to get the powder back in the little bitty containers that it comes in. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our embossing buddy. Now there's just a powder in here, and what that does is it helps keep the embossing powder from sticking where we don't want it to stick. So you rub that over the surface where you're going to stamp. Take our Versamark and go all over our image like that. Then I'm just going to position that where I want it, in the middle of my card. Now, of course, you can't see very much because Versamark also works like a watermark ink pad. So if you wanted to stamp just maybe some sort of background on a dark cardstock, just with the Versamark, it shows up really well. Now I just simply tap the extra back into my little container. Super simple, and at this point I just put my lid back on my embossing powder and it's good to go for the next card. Now it's going to take us just a minute or so for the heat embossing, but you'll definitely need a heat tool. Hair dryer or whatever won't work, doesn't get quite hot enough, but you're going to see the image change from kind of a matte finish to a real shiny finish, and I want you to see that. Can you see the difference in there? It's kind of hard to tell on the camera, But this side is becoming real shiny. This is still matte, so you don't want to touch that. Now I'm not going to do the whole card here because you get the idea on heat embossing. But the last thing I wanted to show you were these rhinestones that are colors. And the rhinestones are so easy to make any color you want using the blendabilities. Now the blendability markers are alcohol-based markers, and so if you are looking for a particular color and you have the marker, all you do is take the marker. I use the brush tip. See this line, real wide line, that's your brush tip. The narrow skinny line is a finer point, but I just take it and go right over the rhinestone I want, and you got it. The color doesn't smudge, it doesn't come off. You are ready to go. So I just colored the rhinestones, added a few of them here and there, and that's it. Super quick, lots of fun, and it turns out so pretty and elegant for Christmas. Well, thanks so much for watching, and for more fun project ideas, be sure to visit my website, stampintx.com. Thank you!